Welcome to Cheating Stories, Real Betrayal. Raw emotions, no filters. If you've ever been lied to, this is your place. Subscribe for weekly stories that cut deep and hit harder. Story: She cheated while I was in a coma. If you had asked me 2 years ago what happiness looked like, I would have said Saturday mornings in our kitchen. The scent of fresh coffee. Emily humming some tune off key while flipping pancakes. Me sitting at the table, legs tangled with hers under the wood, reading headlines I didn't really care about, because I was too busy watching her. She used to dance while the coffee brewed. Nothing fancy, just a little sway of her hips in an old college t-shirt that barely reached her thighs. And when she caught me watching, she'd roll her eyes and say, "Stop being gross," before grinning and pressing a kiss to my forehead. That was our life. Simple, familiar, safe. We've been together since sophomore year of college, married for 5 years, no kids yet, but talking about it. I thought we had time, thought we had forever. We weren't perfect, but we were good. Until the crash. It was raining that night. I had stayed late at work, quarter-end accounting chaos, the usual. I texted her I was on my way home. She sent back a heart emoji. That was the last message I ever got from her. The highway was slick. A delivery truck jackknifed. I was in the wrong lane at the wrong time. I don't remember the impact, or the sirens, or the strangers who pulled me from the wreck. All I remember is waking up 23 days later in a white room, tubes in my arms, a machine beeping beside me, and Emily's face staring down at me like I was a ghost. And, in a way, I was. I later learned that they didn't expect me to wake up. The doctors told Emily I might be in a coma for months, that if I woke up at all, I might have brain damage. She signed papers, called family, made arrangements, and she called him Daniel. Daniel was my best friend. We'd known each other since middle school. He was my best man at the wedding. The guy who knew all my secrets, who'd helped me pick out the ring for Emily, who'd cried when he gave his speech at our reception. I trusted him like a brother. So, of course, she called him. Of course he came. Emily said he started visiting a few days after the crash. First to check on her, then to help around the house, then to stay late, making sure she ate, showered, slept. Grief does strange things to people. That's what they say. At the time, I didn't know any of this. I was lying in a hospital bed, unaware of how close they were getting, how the lines were starting to blur. I have flashes, dreams maybe, of voices in the hospital room, laughter, whispered conversations. Once, I think I heard his voice say, "She deserves to smile again." I thought I imagined it. When I finally woke up, it took time to relearn everything, walking, speaking, remembering. Emily was there every day, holding my hand, crying softly when I said her name again for the first time. Daniel visited too. He brought flowers, joked like nothing had changed, sat at my bedside and said, "You scared the hell out of us, man." I didn't know then that he'd been sleeping in my bed, in my house, with my wife. When they released me from the hospital, it was like stepping into someone else's life. Nothing felt familiar. Our living room had been rearranged, new throw pillows, a different rug. The photos of Emily and me on the hallway wall had been replaced with abstract art. My favorite coffee mug was gone, and Daniel's jacket was hanging on the coat rack. I didn't say anything, not at first. Emily told me he'd been helping, that he stayed over some nights when she was too scared to sleep alone, that she couldn't have gotten through those weeks without him. I nodded, said thank you, even shook his hand when he came by to check on me. But I watched them, the way her smile lingered a little too long when he walked into the room, the way he touched her shoulder absent-mindedly, like it was routine, the way they shared glances when they thought I wasn't looking. They thought I was too weak to notice, too grateful, not too broken. But I noticed everything. Late one night, I got out of bed to get water. I found his toothbrush in our bathroom, his shoes by the back door, a bottle of cologne that wasn't mine in the bedroom drawer. Still, I said nothing. Instead, I started writing, pages and pages of what I remembered, what I felt, what I saw, because some betrayals are too deep for confrontation. Some wounds don't bleed, they rot in silence. And I knew that silence would be my revenge. 2 months later, I left. No warning, no confrontation. Just a letter on the kitchen table and an empty closet. I withdrew the money from our joint account, only what I had put in. I packed a single suitcase, booked a one-way flight, and disappeared. Emily didn't try to stop me. I think, on some level, she knew it was coming. Daniel never reached out. I started over in a small coastal town in Washington, rented a one-bedroom above a bookstore, took a job bartending, grew a beard, learned how to be invisible. At first, I couldn't sleep. The dreams were always the same. Emily's laugh, Daniel's voice, the hospital ceiling. That moment I opened my eyes and thought I had my life back. But I didn't. I lost my marriage in that crash. Not because of the accident, but because of what came after. And the worst part, it wasn't rage that haunted me. It was the quiet realization that the people I trusted most had rewritten my life while I couldn't even lift my head. Now, 2 years later, I found peace. I never told them I knew. I never asked for an apology, because some stories don't need closure. They just need to be told. And this was mine.